Hey everyone, how are we? Just doing our weekly check-in messages, see what is going on for you this week. Okay, make sure you do subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Helps you stay on top of all the readings, so you can, keep an eye out for all of those. Leave me a comment. Let me know if there's a specific topic you would like to see reading on, and we'll definitely be able to organize that for you, being such a small channel. So make sure you subscribe so you're part of that, that small collective that we do have here. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate that you're joining and whatnot so much. So thank you all. But today we are going to be using the Queen of the Moon Oracle. And I also have here the Pisces Lenormand, okay, or Pisces Astounding Lenormand, I believe it's called. I think there's two versions of the deck, and I'm not 100% sure which version mine is, Pisces Astounding or just the Pisces Lenormand deck. But moving on, there will be timestamps in the description box, so you are more than welcome to jump ahead to your sign or check multiple placements as well. And we are going to start off with Aries and move our way through. Okay. Starting off with Aries. Aries, what's going on for Aries? What does Aries need to know right now? What's most important for Aries this week? What does Aries need to know right now, please? This oracle deck is very slippery. Okay, starting off here, we do have the card of gratitude coming through. So being thankful for, opportunities, being thankful for, even the hardships in your life, Aries, that there's certain things I feel here that have presented themselves as challenges, as hardships in your life, that it's actually time to stop and have a think about, the reasons beyond the pain and the hurt that exist for you to actually be grateful for having those opportunities. Is it just in the overcoming that, or is it in what you learnt from that experience? Those sorts of things, because this is something. It's so random how things come up when quite often I've been talking to my child about certain emotions and things like that, and something we have been talking about this week is that, even the bad emotions exist for a reason. And quite a lot of the time, there's things that we can be thankful for in having those emotions. So, anger as an example there. Yes, it's a very hard emotion to deal with. And, a lot of the time it's stemming from fear or pain or hurt, but it shows us that we care. First and foremost, because something wouldn't make us angry if we didn't care about that in the first place. So there's always gratitude and learning that come along with some of the harder emotions. So being thankful for the opportunity to learn that lesson and therefore, not have that same problem arising over and over and over again for you. That the anger is showing you that this needs to be dealt with. That we don't want that in our life, or that person that made us angry, that's not someone that we aspire to have in our life, and things like that. So the gratitude from even the hard things in our life, being thankful for all the people that we've met along the way, whether they were in our life, just for a small reason, a season or a lifetime, that we're grateful to have met them and learned the lessons alongside meeting those people. We're grateful to have people in our life that have, shown us love and empathy and all those sorts of things. For some of you here, I'm picking up being grateful for the children that you're raising. So that's very specific to a couple of you there, but to actually stop and be so grateful for the amazing children that you have, and the qualities that they have sort of started to show to you, that being grateful for having them in your life and for the opportunity to be able to raise these little humans into being such amazing creatures. Okay, so I'm feeling that for a couple of you there is some gratitude towards your own children wanting to come through. And we do have assessing coming through for you as well. So, you know, this really is a time for you to assess all the things that you've been through in your life, good and bad, and assess, what have I gained from that? Whether it was, you know, amazing happiness, an awesome memory, or a lesson that maybe sometimes was hard to learn. Being grateful for those things, and, you know, assessing all those things that have happened in your life, all those emotions that you do have, assessing each and every one of those to, you know, work out what it is from that you need to be grateful for, because it's really coming through very strongly, with that gratitude message coming through here for you, Aries. But we will clarify that, of course. Aries, checking in on our Aries. What does Aries need to know this week? Definitely seeing remnants of those same two energies coming through. We have the flowers, the bouquet, followed by the flowers, okay, followed by the whip, okay, which has come through with the mice there as well. So that sort of does show us, with the mice and the whip coming through together, we are specifically looking at a lot of conflicts, things that have stressed you out in the past, things that, you know, trouble and tension that you have lost to time, I suppose, for a lot of you here, that, you know, arguments from the past. So for a lot of you, this could definitely be arguments, or, you know, things that have really stressed you out, or conflict that has stressed you out in the past. It does seem to be, you know, assessing the past very strongly there with the mice. The mice does refer to the past, and things that, you know, are lost to time, are lost, you know, you lost an opportunity, or you lost a person from your life, or those sorts of things. So we do see that being the main bulk of this, of what we're, you know, actually finding the gratitude in, is some of those harder emotions, the conflicts, and the drama that you've, you know, been through in your life. That's what we're assessing, is, you know, maybe it's just to, you know, have gratitude for the fact that you don't have that right here, right now in your life, that it has been lost to time, that those people, that you got rid of those people that were causing you all this stress, those sorts of things. We do see here with the bouquet, the bouquet is the energy of, you know, giving what you're getting. All right. So it's very much reciprocal energy. So the more that you give, the more you receive back. So it does ask us to really assess here too, you know, our own role in past quarrels and conflicts as well. You know, did we give a certain energy that then gave us back that, you know, that quarrel, that argument? Was that part of the issue? Are we learning now to be not giving too much of the negative, if we don't want the negative coming back around to us? But it is also a very sort of positive energy, in the sense that the more time that you're giving to really thinking these things through, the more you're actually going to get out of that, the more that you're going to, you know, the more you're giving gratitude for all these things that you have gone through in the past, the more you're actually going to get back out of that. Because the bouquet, it really does talk about, you know, gifts from the universe as well, and receiving, you know, receiving back. It's kind of the card of karma in a lot of ways here. That, you know, that you've been through so much here, Aries. And I do feel too that with I'm just picking up an energy here of, you know, in the past, you have given so much of yourself to the fight, to the conflict, that is a big thing that you now are needing to be grateful for, is the fact that you're not giving so much of yourself to these fighting like energies, to these negative energies. You're not giving all of yourself to that, and you're now more adept at overcoming those things and resolving those conflicts. That is coming through very sort of clearly as a specific message there, that you know, that's one of the main things to be grateful for here, is that you have actually learnt a lot from all the conflict and drama that you've been through in the past. From all these arguments, you kind of now know how to resolve these things on a much grander scale, and that moving forward into the future, you're less likely to have those same conflicts re-arise in your life, because, you know, even if they do, you're confident to resolve those. Okay, so And also, with the bouquet, I do want to say that this week it's probably going to be a really good time to, gift yourself something as well. And that doesn't need to be an actual physical thing, although for some of you it definitely could be, gifting yourself a little chocolate, gifting yourself a flower, whatever. But gifting yourself, a second, a time to just sit and be grateful for all the positive energy that you do have in your life, even if that positive energy is only within yourself, Aries, that you're hopeful that things are going to get better. That in itself is something to be hugely grateful for, that if you do have, hope, that's a huge thing to be grateful for. Give yourself a moment to be grateful for. I survived these conflicts, even though, they're lost to time now. Look at all the things that I've survived in my life. I've got so much to be grateful for, just in the fact that I got through that, and I'm not still, going through those same things over and over again. Okay, Aries, so that's what we've got for you today. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Taurus. All right, Taurus, what's going on for Taurus this week? What's most important for Taurus to know this week, please? Ooh, some interesting energy here. Now, I can't actually remember what we talked about for you, Taurus, through the shadow work reading recently, but there may have been something important for you in that message, because I am seeing masculine energy straight away here. We do have the release card coming through first and foremost, directly followed by the masculine. Okay, so there is something about the masculine energy that you are needing to release here. For some of you, not all of you, this is an actual masculine in your life that it's time to let go of that masculine and cut the cord between yourself and that masculine. I am picking up that for a couple of you, this is a specific, it feels like friendship energy rather than lovers or anything like that. It may be, for some of you, it may be a family member who it's just kind of feeling like something that you've put a lot of energy into trying to hold on to that relationship, even though, deep down, that this person is not putting as much into this relationship as you, that this person is, they need to be released for some reason or another. But we'll have a look with the lenormand and see what's going on there, because for others of you, this is, a masculine trait within yourself that you are needing to, release a little bit there. It's just not telling me specifically what. Releasing control for some of you there, I think. That domineering, controlling type energy coming from the masculine there, that it's not, masculine energy can be very controlling, but it needs to be so in a way that is protective, not actual, controlling. So it's just asking you to sort of look at the difference between control in a negative way and control in a positive way for you within your own self. Taurus, what's going on for Taurus? What does Taurus need to know right now? But yeah, for some of you, we may have touched on that during that shadow work video. For those of you where this is something within your own self, I definitely feel like we may have touched on some of this throughout the shadow work video, because that was about integrating the masculine. So, whatever that message was about, just be careful we're not going too far with it, and going overboard with it, or holding on to some negative stuff from that as well. So just be wary of that. But Taurus, whoa, losing like half the deck here. Taurus, what's important for Taurus to know right now, please? For majority of you, it definitely has to do with this masculine that you have a relationship with that has been failing. Okay, because we do start off with the clover here, but the bulk of the message is in regard to this energy here, and we have the mice and the ring, so we can see straight away that this is a relationship of some description. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't feel like a love relationship for majority of you here. It may be for a couple of you, but with the mice, it tells us that this was it's a relationship that you spend more time stressing about than actually enjoying that relationship. You spend a lot more time stressing about this relationship, and there may be some stuff in the past between you and this person that still kind of eats away at you a little bit about that relationship, and just sort of niggles away in the back of your brain about, well, why did that happen, and why do they not show that they care as much, and all this sort of stuff. But it kind of does let us know that it's time for you to, with the clover there, it's kind of talking about taking a risk, taking a chance, diving in the deep end a little bit here, taking a risk to understand that this is already in the past. This has already been lost to you, this relationship. It's kind of asking you to, with the clover, like I said, generally that's taking a risk, taking a chance, but I feel as though it's talking about luck is on your side, that the sooner that because with the clover, this is also the Sagittarius card. So for some of you, this may be a Sagittarius. We also have your card here as well, Taurus, the ring. So it does kind of, it's giving me very luck of the draw energy, that it's the luck of the draw, that you've already taken enough risks, because they're linked to the past, the risks and the investment, like you've invested in the past in this relationship, and it's kind of talking about you've kind of done all you can do on your end here with this relationship, that you took a chance to invest into this relationship, and it maybe was not reciprocal, and now it's time to sort of search for a new four-leaf clover, search for your luck, put your luck elsewhere, that short-term luck is on your side to invest elsewhere, I suppose, because you're investing too much in a relationship that is in the past. It kind of just wants to clarify that it's time to release this, because you're investing too much and you're risking too much for a relationship that is actually in the past, that has already been lost, kind of thing. So maybe the risk you need to take is to release that and allow that to be left in the past. And if this person realizes that and actually values the relationship, to leave it up to them to do their part for a change. It feels like you've already invested too much into this relationship, Taurus. It's like you've given them too many chances, is what I'm getting there. Okay, but that's what we've got for you. So sorry if that's a little bit harsh and not what you wanted to hear, but that's what's coming through for you there. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Gemini. Okay, Gemini, what's going on for Gemini this week? What does Gemini need to know right now? Ooh, this is relatively straightforward here, Gemini. We have blossoming, as well as attraction. So there is a blossoming attraction coming in for you this week. I do feel that for a couple of you, this is not to do with love. This is not anything to do with love. This is a blossoming attraction to something in your life that is not necessarily a person. For some of you, it may be a person, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is love attraction or sexual attraction. This could actually be, just feeling drawn to something or someone. It could be, a brand new hobby, being very, like opening up and being more attracted to the work that you're doing or elements of the work that you're doing. Clarify this energy for Gemini. What does Gemini need to know this week, please? I will say, Gemini, that sort of random side message is that a lot of you are going to find yourself, observing and being attracted to watching the way that children play this week, and watching the way that, mothers and children, something about mothers and children, and observing interactions between mothers and children, and watching those relationships blossom. So for some of you, you may have actually been, it may be, some of you may be sort of wanting to investigate that for your own self, to have that blossoming relationship between a mother and a child. Whereas for others of you, it's a little bit deeper than that. It's about being drawn this week to seeing those relationships, and especially seeing children play, because there's something within your own self, your own inner child, and your own nurturer that is really wanting to, nurture your own inner child and nurture your own sense of adventure and fun and playfulness. And so there's just something really, a really deep beauty this week in watching children, and the way that they're being very imaginative, and they just have fun, and they just enjoy sometimes the most mundane things, because I'm seeing, as soon as I said that, I'm seeing a cat with a box, like that kind of energy where a cat loves a box, and there's a weird kind of beauty in it, that it's such a simple thing that, because it's the same with children, that a lot of the time you give children presents, and especially young children, and they don't care about the present. They actually spend more time playing with the box, and, turning the box into a cubby house, or, whatever. Like, even my 8-year-old has a box in his room at the moment that it's a house for his teddy bears. So sometimes children can find the most mundane things and turn them into something completely different, and get a lot of enjoyment and playful energy just from the weird little the box. I do want to get one more card here, because the first card I've got is the Tower for you. So I do feel as though, there's a deeper message here, and it's just, we also have the woman and the child. So with that Tower there, it does feel as though you're kind of finding strength in your own foundation, and a little bit of, setting yourself aside, setting yourself apart from others, and just observing. It just feels like a very observational energy from you this week, Gemini, that you're very observing the world around you. You're kind of up in your tower this week, just watching everything going, watching the world go on around you, and, like as if you can imagine you're sitting up in a tower, watching, parents and children in a field playing, and it's like you're starting to have this blossoming attraction to getting out there in the fields, and but right now you're still up in your tower just observing, but there's a part of you feeling drawn to go out there and play with them. So it's a very interesting energy here. Can I just get one more card on this for Gemini? Because what am I missing here? So we have the masculine and the heart coming out as well here. So, you know, we do see that divine pairing here. So it's kind of like, for some of you, it's about, you know, just being drawn to more traditional things, definitely. You know, this blossoming attraction to more traditional roles, because we see the feminine and the masculine and then the child with love. So it's like a very traditional family that we're seeing here. So for some of you, you know, you may be sort of really wanting to, you know, open up to that more traditional cohesiveness within your life. It does feel very strongly of, you know, family and opening up to, you know, starting new traditions, taking new steps towards having it all kind of thing, to having the picture perfect little family that you want. If that kind of, there is something deeper here, Gemini, but it's not for me to know kind of thing. It's something going on deep within you yourself, because this is very deep kind of feeling energy. And it's just, the main message seems to be this message of just kind of reassuring you that you sort of setting aside and observing this week is the energy that you're in this week. But you are starting to be drawn into this world. Your attraction is being piqued by something or someone this week, and certain things that you maybe weren't interested in previously, you are now sort of having this blossoming attraction to those things. It does seem to have a lot to do with family. You know, maybe starting your own family, maybe, you know, reconnecting to family. For some of you, it may be more to do with, you know, assessing your own self and having this attraction to nurture your own inner child, and, you know, balancing yourself within the masculine and the feminine, and finding love for oneself through connection to that inner child, and giving that inner child space to play and know that it is loved, just within you yourself. It's telling me that that's the message, but I feel like this is one of those messages that it may resonate more for you, because you know the deeper layer to that for your own self. Whereas, you know, that's not my information to know, is what it's kind of telling me, that it's not for me to know, it's for you to know. So that's either going to resonate very deeply with you or not at all. And if it's a not at all, you're more than welcome to check out your other placements and see what else wants to come out for you today. But that's what I've got. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel as well. And we will move on over to our Cancers. All right, Cancer. What's going on for Cancer this week? What does Cancer need to know right now? Ooh, I love this message for you, Cancer. The unexpected. And it straight away, it's telling me that there's a brand new world. It's like a portal to the unknown. See how that's like a giant kind of portal that you're staring off into there. It's like a portal to the unknown this week. That expect the unexpected. And more so than expecting the unexpected, have faith in the unexpected. We have faith there as well. And you can kind of see, look, her tummy is like a world. It's like the earth there. So it's like a brand new world being born into your life. this week in some kind of way. With the faith having, the pregnancy belly being the earth here, the whole new world being, inside the belly. It may not be born as of yet, if that makes sense. It's kind of like we're in that period of it's coming, it is coming. It remain faithful that this portal to the unknown is coming for you, and you are sort of entering into a brand new world. Things are changing. So it's really maybe, time to feed that pregnancy at the moment. Okay, it's all about taking care of that pregnancy the best way that you can, so that when that is born, it's born in the most healthiest way, so that when the unknown comes into your life, when this new earth comes into your life, that you have fed it in the healthiest way, and you have, manifested that in the most positive ways, rather than fear, rather than being fearful of what might come, what might happen that you're not expecting. You're kind of allowing yourself to daydream and manifest positive changes in your life, and you're preparing for a whole new world to be born into your life here. So you're making sure you remove anything that could be, because like when somebody's the pregnancy analogy keeps coming through. When you're pregnant, what do you have to do? When you have to baby proof your home. So that's kind of what you're doing with your life, is you're baby proofing your life, that regardless of, I don't know what this could bring, I don't know what this is going to be like, but it's time for me to get rid of everything in my life that could be unsafe. Get rid of everything in my life that could be unhealthy for that brand new world. So I don't want people in my life that, they could then go and pollute this brand new world for me. I don't want pollution in my brand new world. I don't want that. So I need to get rid of all the toxicity now, before that comes in, so that I'm creating the most healthy environment for that. Interesting. It's very interesting, for getting really deep, interesting messages today. Cancer. Clarify this energy for Cancer, please. What does Cancer need to know this week? So it feels like you're kind of, preparing your life for the new world that's about to enter in here. Can I just get one for advice on what impact, advice to Cancer in regards to that person, please? It's just talking about one specific person here. Definitely got a lot of destined changes coming in. The hidden energy on the bottom of the deck, I've got the rider, which brings things in quickly. I've got the scythe, which makes changes. It breaks us free from previous energy, and it brings things in very quickly once again. And then the cross, which is destiny, fate, has its so it's very close. It is actually very close here, whatever's going on. Firstly, we see the dog, Cancer. So this is kind of asking, you can kind of see too, this particular dog is staring off into the stars, staring off into space, kind of imagining how things could be, how things should be. This is issues of loyalties and friendships and compassion and understanding for this person. We have the clouds and the masculine. So this does appear to be a very logical, rational person in your life, most likely a friend, or somebody that you have a lot of loyalty to, a lot of understanding for, a lot of compassion and understanding for. For some of you, this is referencing you yourself, and that you need to, have more compassion for yourself. But this person, that you will know who this is, because I feel like this person is depressed. There's a lot of anxiety with the clouds. They're very rational, logical thinking people. They sit themselves aside from emotion. They try to, they're all up in their head rather than in their heart space. I do feel for a lot of you, this is a part of you yourself, Cancer, that logical, rational part of yourself that is stuck in your head, and you're needing to be a little bit more, understanding of yourself and be a better friend to yourself in some way. Be a little bit more, because your advice here, I've got the lilies, which is very feminine energy. It's very, giving yourself time, space to be vulnerable and, making long-term decisions for oneself, that this is very long-term energy, that closeness, that vulnerability with oneself is long-term. So for some of you, your advice here is to allow emotional intimacy between yourself and this person. If this is someone external to you, it's allowing emotional intimacy between you and this person, because, in the long term, that is to your benefit. That is part of your new world. It's kind of feeling like this person needs help, coming out of their anxieties, coming out of their overthinking processes, and coming out of their head a little bit, and allowing themselves to be a little bit more vulnerable and emotionally intimate with the world around them. When we're doing that through, understanding, compassion, friendship, companionship. So once again, for some of you, this is actually just you, a part of you yourself. But for others of you, this is actually somebody separate to you that you are just needing to show a little bit more compassion to this week. Kind of like, even in that, look, you see someone leaning on someone's shoulder. So this is you standing tall and strong, and allowing this person to lean on your shoulder so that they can come with you to this new world. So, you're removing all toxicity, but this person, they need your help to get out of that, because the only toxicity this person seems to have is towards themselves. And all they need is some emotional vulnerabilities and security, some kindness. The lily as an advice card as well, kindness. It's showing someone kindness. Showing someone that I want you to come with me to this new world. I want you to be a part of this new world with me. I'm just going to show you some kindness and some compassion and understanding so that you can come with me on this journey. So that's part of the baby proofing that you're doing here, is the people that you care about. You're caring about them and helping them, steer themselves away from overthinking, from feeling as though they can't have emotion, feeling, misunderstood, and like nobody has empathy for them. You're giving them that empathy and understanding, that showing them that, I have a loyalty to you. Okay, Cancer, so I hope that makes sense for those of you that is meant for. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements as well. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Leos. All right, Leo, what's going on for Leo this week? Whoa, throwing half this deck is so slippery. Leo, what does Leo need to know this week? Ooh, Saw me shuffle that, right? The unexpected. See this card? It's like a portal into a brand new world here, Leo. We did just have this same card for Cancer as well. So some of you may be on the cusp of Cancer and Leo. So you're more than welcome to check out the Cancer reading as well. But for you, we do actually see focus as well. I do kind of feel like for a lot of you, this is it's unexpected to you that this week you're the focus of this week, or your focus is changing to something unexpected this week. But we'll have, it's not being very chatty at the minute, so we'll delve into that for you. Leo, what's going on for Leo this week? What does Leo need to know right now, please? Pretty straightforward message once again here. This is why your focus is on the unexpected this week, because firstly we do have the birds and the heart, okay, but here we have the crossroads, the pathways, okay, so you can go this way or that way this week. It's a choice, a decision that's coming in for you this week, okay, Leo, and this is maybe a very unexpected choice or decision, and or that it's the choice that you make is very unexpected even to yourself, that you need to sort of focus on which direction you truly want to go, and you may be making the unexpected choice, or the options may be unexpected for you. But it's all stemming from a conversation from the heart, sort of a chat about love, conversation coming from the heart, coming from love, coming from unconditional love. So I dare say, I feel like this is with someone that you love, having a conversation with someone that you love. There may be a phone call for some of you there, because I'm just sort of picking up on that. It's kind of feeling like with the birds there, it does feel as though this is something that it's kind of like a rumor that you're now getting confirmation of from someone that you love. So it's and by rumor, I don't necessarily mean, an actual rumor. It's something that you maybe have had a feeling that might happen, or you've been chit-chatting about different options that, you never know what's going to happen, this might happen, that might happen, and then we're having this conversation with somebody, and lo and behold, that option is presented. But there is a choice. It leaves you with a choice or decision that needs to be made. So you do need to focus when you make this choice. It's about working out, where this brand new world is going to take you, what path that leaves you on. Because I feel like, the unexpected paths that open up for you this week, you've maybe not considered what they would really look like for you here, Leo, because they're unexpected. You have never even sort of thought about what that would look like in reality for you. But lo and behold, here they come. So you do need to focus on which choice to make here, which decision is going to be. And I feel like there's a clue here for you in that unexpected card, that the choice that you're making, the one that is most likely to yield the most unexpected results, may be the right choice. But it feels like it's all stemming from this conversation from the heart. I just want some clarity on those, please. Clarify the conversation for Leo. Taking a chance. So high risk, high reward. This conversation, it's definitely about, you know, maybe a Sagittarius involved with that clover there. But it's kind of like this may be a conversation about, should we take this risk? Should we invest in this? And that's what opens up the decision. That's what opens up the new pathway here. Should we take this chance? Should we jump in? Should we try that in, you know, even though we don't know whether it's going to work? Should we jump in the deep end here? Clarify the crossroads for Leo, please. Masculine, focus, really needing to focus and think logically about the decision that we're making. Advice for Leo here with this decision. Advice for Leo with this decision. Have faith, trust. That's what you're needing to focus on. The focus is on, you know, what are your responsibilities while making this choice. You know, what if I choose this path, what responsibilities does that then put on my shoulders? Have faith that either path you choose is going to work out the way you need it to. But, you know, once again, a clue for making that decision is weighing up, you know, really focusing on what burdens does that entail. You know, so if I've got a choice A or a choice B, which choice has the most responsibility that I will then have to take on board? Which choice leaves me with the biggest burden on my shoulders? Which choice has the most unexpected potential? So hope that helps make this decision this week, Leo. It feels like, yeah, it feels like for sure this conversation should take place this week. The actual decision may take a little bit longer. All right, but I feel like the conversation might start for, you know, that's where this whole new world that you might want to jump on into it. Do we take the chance to, you know, jump onto this brand new pathway? That might definitely open up for you through some sort of conversation with love this week. Okay, Leo. So that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Virgos. All right, Virgo, what's going on for Virgo this week? What does Virgo need to know right now, please? Oh, Virgo. I kind of really like this energy for you. We have assessing coming through first. So you can see it's the figure up here, you know, using the telescope to really assess what's on the horizon, looking out into the horizon. What's coming my way? What do I need to look out for here? Hunger. What are you hungry for? Needing to assess what's on the horizon that I am most hungry for. What sparks that hunger, that fire, that hunger deep within me? Assessing that within yourself. What needs to be fed in your life? Interesting. I've been getting some really interesting deep messages today. Virgo. What does Virgo need to know right now? So you're really kind of weighing up pros and cons, but at the end of the day, it's that hunger that guides you. It's that hunger that draws you to certain things. Are you, you know, hungry to be successful? Are you hungry to, you know, just be happier? Are you hungry for love? Are you hungry to start a family or whatever? You know, it can be a lot of different things for a lot of different people here. But let's have a look what the Lenormand wants to add in. Virgo, What does Virgo need to know right now, please? There's the Spirit card coming through first, Virgo. So we see the Hungry Ghost now. Hungry Ghost. It's not called the Hungry Ghost in this particular deck, but I do have a deck where the Spirit energy is called the Hungry Ghost, and that's the first thing that comes up here when I see the hunger the hunger and the spirit there. It's like what makes your spirit hunger? So this is a little bit deeper. It's not, we're not talking about what makes you feel full. It's what makes your soul feel full. What makes you feel like what are you hungry for on a deeper level? This is not just material level stuff. This is deeper. This is your whole soul, your whole spirit aches for this. This is very deep, very, very deep. And assessing, we have the Whip coming through next. So I feel like the reason that this has not been an issue, it's not come up for you before, is because this hunger that you have is in conflict with something in your life. You have been conflicted, and that's why you have not chased down this ghost before. Because this thing that you hunger for, it's in direct conflict with something in your life. So it's telling me examples of, I'm hungry for something that means that I have to move far away, and I don't want to leave my family. It's telling me that I'm hungry for something outside of my relationship, and the conflict is I have to leave my relationship. But deep down, you know that this is something that your soul aches for. So that's part of this assessment that you're making this week, Virgo, is that, can I go my whole life with this hunger gnawing away within, just because I don't want to hurt people, just because I don't want to leave someone behind? Because that's what it feels like this conflict is. It's I don't want to start a fight. I don't want to start trouble or tension. I don't want to have an argument, because I know that someone will not follow me, that they can't follow me where I'm going. But it's assessing whether, can you allow this to be an empty pit in your soul forever, or is it worth it to, pardon me, to fill that part of me that hungers for this. It does involve releasing something or someone from your life, unfortunately, Virgo. And that's why this week is the week that, I feel like you've probably thought about this a few times already. In the past, you've thought about this and you've gone, I can't do this to so-and-so. I can't do this to my life. I can't throw my whole life up in the air to chase that. But this week, you're really assessing this deeply. We do have the Child as well. The Child talks about new beginnings. It talks about starting adventures and just, looking for adventure. Being willing to start that journey, to grow, all over again, to allow things space in your life to be young like a child, and embrace innocence, that I deserve to have this fresh new start, this new beginning for myself. I do feel like a lot of you are going to move forward with this and chase this, whatever this is for you, regardless of the conflict. I feel as though, you know, you've had this same conflict over and over again within yourself for a lot of you. You keep coming back to the same argument. Like, I can't leave this person behind because they can't come with me. But this time around, you realize that I need to start this journey. I will never be whole if I don't chase this thing. So the advice would be to, you know, trust your intuition and try to be engaging with, you know, that part of yourself, that little child within that wants to go on adventures and, you know, is innocent to, you know, what children are like. They're like, I want this, so I don't care about all the other problems around me getting that. I just want that. That's what I want. Give it to me. But like I said, we're starting with that assessing energy. So this is up to you to assess within your own self with this, if this is a new beginning that you're willing to undertake or not. Okay, so free will exists, Virgo. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I feel as though for a lot of you it's something that you can't stop yourself from. Because I feel like for a lot of you, you've been through this conflict multiple times within your own self, that, you know, and it causes you just as much drama within your own self to not follow this hunger as what the conflict to follow it would entail. But that's what we have for you, Virgo. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to Libra. Okay, Libra. Libra, what does Libra need to know this week? What's going on for Libra? What does Libra need to know right now, please? Patience, Libra, is a week of waiting for you, unfortunately. Me and Patience have issues, but patience this week, Libra. It feels like it's strongly to do with this card as well, boundaries. All right, that patience for your boundaries to be, you know, it's kind of feeling as though you need to reestablish boundaries, and be patient in that process, that it may take you a while to actually establish solid boundaries around yourself in a healthy kind of a way, or you know, needing to be patient with somebody else's boundaries, that maybe somebody else is just needing a little bit more time. That kind of thing is kind of what's coming through for you there. But we'll have a look with the lenormand as well. Libra, what does Libra need to know right now, please? Because it is kind of telling me here too, Libra, that for some of you, this may not have to do with an actual person. We do see here the boundaries card. It's the figure in the little bubble, all right? And I do kind of feel as though for some of you, that boundary is actually a boundary that you want to cross, that you're just unable to cross right now, that you need to just be patient and wait for the time to be right for that bubble to kind of be popped, that you're trying to escape, you know, like the bubble that you're in currently. You're trying to move forward into something different. Like I'm kind of picking up strongly here work related stuff for some of you, that you know, you maybe are waiting for a promotion, for example, and you know, it's just not, the time is just not quite right for that boundary to be crossed as of yet, for that change to happen. So it's coming through as a type of, you know, a boundary. So that it's just not quite the right time just yet. You're just needing to be patient to allow that bubble to pop, so that then you can, you know, cross that boundary and move to where you want to be there. Libra, what does Libra need to know right now? What's going on for our Libra? So there is some sort of expansion that you're wanting to take place, I feel, for a lot of you. Yeah, so, it's coming sooner than you realize as well. So, the more that you can show your patience, rather than pushing the issue, I suppose, the quicker that is going to come in for you anyway. We've got a lot of really fast energy here. Starting off with the rider, good news is on the way. It is on the way, all right, with that things will happen quickly. The travel that you're wanting, that boundary that you're wanting to cross here, it will happen quickly. You're about to, get up on that horse and ride off into the sunset. We do have the scythe coming through there as well, which talks about harvest, which talks about changes happening, things changing, and that happens very, very quickly as well. So that once again is a very, very quick card. But right now this week, it's a little bit of patience. Patience is a virtue, so that when those changes are ready to happen, that bang, 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 here they go. But I do feel with the scythe here that there may just be one little thing that is just, that's what we need. That it's that bubble bursting, something that we're needing to cut free from our life before that boundary can be crossed. So some of you, that's just that bubble bursting though. So it may just be breaking free from an old job. So then those changes can happen quickly. Breaking free from a certain role that you've been in. So then that bubble can burst. That kind of thing. It's for others of you, it's something external though as well. That it's breaking free from somebody's expectation or somebody's it's not giving me the right word here. You may be waiting for somebody else to be cut loose. Somebody, especially in like the job scenario, you may need to allow someone else to be broken free of before then that job becomes available for you and you can get up on that horse and ride off. You may just need to wait for someone else to get off the horse so then you can have your turn, kind of thing. But we do also see the stork coming through here as well, which is another fast-paced card. It is another card of, things happening very quickly, changes being made. Right now, though, it does let us know that right now, this week, we are in the pregnancy stage. So the stork is the pregnancy card, but for I don't feel the call of pregnancy coming from that today. It's just talking about, the pregnancy phase, the ideas phase, where things are building up and growing to what they need to be before they can be birthed out into the world. So it's just kind of waiting for the time to be right, for that to be born, for that opportunity to be born, for that bubble to be popped, that boundary to be crossable for you here. So just a little bit more patience, and then things will happen very, very quickly once that bubble bursts there, Libra. That is right now we're in the ideas phase. The coming up with as many ideas as we can about what that's going to look like when those changes happen. Changing, maybe changing things or coming up with new ideas on what that change might look like for yourself here. Being patient while we allow it to build and build and build and grow. Okay, so that when it does pop out into the world, that it's ready to go and you're ready to fly off into the sunset with that. Okay, so right now though, this week may end up feeling like, I feel like I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting for everything to fall into place. But lo and behold, it is. Okay, it is definitely in the process for you here, Libra. It's just a little bit more patience is going to work in your favor this week. Okay, so that's what we have for you. You are more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe, and we will move on over to Scorpio. Hi, Scorpio. How are we today? Just checking in on your energy this week, Scorpio. What is going on for you? Scorpio, what does Scorpio need to know right now? What does Scorpio need to know, please? We have wisdom coming through first for you here. You kind of, it's giving me the phrase reaching for an answer. You can see the figure standing on a stack of books. She's climbed up this ladder here. She's standing on this stack of books and she's reaching for the sky. So it's kind of like using the wisdom that you have underneath your feet already, that you've got a lot of education, I feel, for something, a lot of skill, a lot of education, because, like, oh my goodness, she's standing in a boat. That stack of books is in a boat, so she knows how to balance that wisdom and skill. That she's very skilled there as well, but it's kind of reaching, using what you've learnt and using your skill to know what your next reach is, what your next goals are. You're kind of reaching from your own wisdom that, okay, my own wisdom and skills are this. So the logical thing to reach for, the goal to reach after that is this. So it's kind of it is telling me quite heavily here for a lot of you. This has got to do with, work related stuff, career stuff, that you know what you're good at. You know what you know. You know what you know, and you know what you don't know. You know what you don't know. So it's kind of like you're coming from a very strong, educated stance where you are very skilled in certain things, and you know what those skills are. You have the backing up there of the education or whatever, and so now that, where is that going to take me? Where can I now reach for, from that wisdom? So for a lot of you, this is like, it's kind of talking about, logical steps in a career kind of thing. We do see the ladder in that card, so it's kind of like climbing the ladder. You've already climbed a certain level, but now it's time to start thinking about where do I go from here? Where do I reach for from here? What's the next logical step? With my skill base and my educational base, what's the next logical step for me to reach towards here? So we do see nourishment coming through as well. So we definitely do see you nourishing goals, like that it's time to feed your goals, and know that, if I am lacking any wisdom that I need, any education that I need, then maybe that is my next goal, to make sure I've got, definitely got that wisdom, that balance underneath myself, so that I can then keep going up that ladder. So I'm nourishing and putting everything into the existing skill set, so that I know that I'm coming from a very strong base as I move higher and higher here. Clarify this for Scorpio, please. What does Scorpio need to know right now? Scorpio, what does Scorpio need to know right now? So, and you're feeding your goals as well. You're, that's what the nourishment is. Okay, righto. So the nourishment is actually, we have the bed coming through. So the nourishment is actually just the knowledge that you have this knowledge, just the knowledge that you have this skill set, kind of resting for a moment before we do take off, once again, and making sure once again that we've got all our house in order. We have the house here as well, okay? So that we're coming from stable footing. The house is all about stability and security. So, we're resting where we are right now to make sure it's all stable and secure before we do take that next step. And not just within, once again, using the example of career, not just within our skills and our job or whatever, but also within our spirit. We have the spirit coming through here. So, knowing that in our soul, we know ourselves. We know we have that wisdom. We know we have those skills. So you're just taking some time to just sort of allow the energy to catch up to you here, before you do sort of jump headfirst into the next big thing. It's a good time for you to be sort of, resting and recuperating and replenishing, nourishing yourself. Nourishment for your spirit is the predominant nourishment, I feel, now that I'm seeing that come out, that you're coming from a very stable footing, not only within your physical reality life, your material life, but also within your own self. So I do just feel that for a couple of you, there just may be just some extra little bits of learning, education, wisdom that you're needing to gain before we then can start reaching for the stars. But now is a really good time to be sort of brainstorming where that next goal is going to be. So nourishing the ideas process, nourishing, well, I know, as long as I get this stability happening for myself, that then I will be able to proceed further. I do feel as though there is a strong message here for quite a few of you about, especially for those of you where this is a career related thing, that it's not your skill set, it's not your knowledge, it's not your wisdom that's the issue here. It's your own self and your self-reflection, your self-assessment, your self-judgment or negative self-judgment that is holding you back right now. So those little things just need to be, finagled just a little bit more, and growing the depth of our spirit, growing the depth of our soul, maybe doing some shadow work, some healing within our own self, in order to have that base of security that we, that bed of security that we can come home to. We know that, if anything else in the world, this is my bed, this is my house, this is stable, this is secure. I am stable, I am secure within my own self, within my mental self, within my emotional self. Security, stability. Okay, so for a couple of you there, it is picking up on a little bit of finagling emotional or mental stability. It seems to be the priority before we do sort of jump ahead into the next steps for yourself here. Needing to nourish your soul right now. Okay, nourish your emotions, nourish your soul. Seems to be the important step that we're, because that's wise. That's part of wisdom, right? Is to understand that we are many faceted creatures, and we do need to, we're never going to be successful if we ourselves are not that within our own self first. It needs to start within your own self. Just because you're super skilled at something doesn't mean that you're going to be able to deal with, the social parameters or, the emotional toll that may take. So you're needing to come from a very secure base within your own self and within your soul before you do take this next step. Okay, Scorpio, so that's what we have for you today. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel as well. And we will move on over to our Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. What is going on for Sagittarius this week? What does Sagittarius need to know right now, please? Hearing S, the letter S, somehow significant to some of you. Oh, this is very interesting. Firstly, we have action coming through. Taking action this week. Needing to be very, keeping yourself very busy this week, I feel, Sagittarius, but taking a lot of action towards things in your life this week, and, being very active this week is going to benefit you. So, doing the thing. And we also have will. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, so taking the action that if I will it, it will come. That's a big action for you this week, Sagittarius, is the action of enforcing your own will out into the world, that this is what I want, so this is what I'm going to get. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start taking steps towards getting this. I'm going to take action this week towards following my will. I'm getting a lot of you very, very goal-orientated this week, and, not mucking around at all. Sagittarius, what is going on here for Sagittarius? What does Sagittarius needs to know this week? What is it that Sagittarius needs to know this week? Keeps telling me where there's a will, there's a way, and you're finding the way. The hidden energy I've got on the bottom of the deck, I've got the heart, the garden, and the stars. So it's kind of like using your following your heart this week to meet your goals. Using love to help you meet your goals this week is kind of a side message coming through there. We do see the tree coming through first, which is, a card of will as well. A lot of strength. I bend, but I don't break. I heal and I take care of myself and I do what I need to do to grow and grow and grow and grow. Sometimes that action I need to take is patience. Sometimes not this week for you, I don't feel, but this is branching out a little bit, not healing and growing in some sort of way where you're doing it in a way that you're taking care of yourself. You're looking after yourself so that you can continue to grow and to heal. There's a lot of strength coming through, especially this particular deck, the tree. It's just the trunk. It's not, you can't see the leaves swaying around there in the breeze. You're looking at the trunk, the strength, where, the solidness of this tree. So it enables you to grow and branch out from having such inner strength and inner will that I'm so strong and tough. I'm this big tree that, I can protect and nurture and look after all these little animals of the forest, and I can, provide shade but also I can be this beautiful thing. Your will is very strong this week. Okay, so there's a lot of strength coming from you. It's very interesting. We have the burner, okay, which is the smoke is kind of clearing for you this week. It's a cleansing. We've healed and we've grown, so now we're cleansing out all the things in our life that, we're taking action to cleanse and to move forward in a healed, grown, mature, strong kind of a way. If you will it, they will come. Where there's a will, there's a way. I'm so strong that I'm going to cleanse this out of myself, whether that be out of yourself or out of your life. The burner also is a very spiritual card. It does ask us to, trust our intuition and follow our spirit. But we also see the clouds coming through for you. All right. So the clouds, this is, we know that the rain will come as well, that rain will eventually come, a storm will eventually come, and then I will be tested to see if I will break or if I will bend. I've got this will, this strength to know that I can bend and not break, even though I know the storm will come again. Storms are going to come again. The clouds are here. I overthink things a little bit sometimes. I get stuck up in my thoughts sometimes, and it does make me a little bit anxious sometimes because I think through every possible scenario, and some of them aren't the greatest. But it's very logical, rational to know that the storm, the challenge will come again. But do you know what? I've got this fortitude, I've got this will that no matter what comes my way, I know that I've cleared out all the BS that was holding me back, and I've cleared out all the, the weak points of myself. I've taken the action to cleanse myself of any weakness, so that I know that when that storm comes, I can survive it, just like I have survived previous storms. That I have, where there's a will, there's a way. I know I can get through whatever clouds cover me, and I know the sun will rise again because I am a tree. I know the cycles of nature. I know that, yes, there's clouds, yes, there's sun, yes, there's rain, but there's also bright sunny days as well. I know that it's all just part of the cycle, and I know that, sunshine will come again after those clouds part. And so I know that even if I do get stuck in my head a little bit here, that I can trust my spiritual self to help me part those clouds and remove any confusion. The smoke will clear eventually, and I can move forward. Once again, this strength you're showing yourself this week, pay attention to it, because your will is very, very strong this week, and this is where you can really, really, it's a test of strength in some kind of a way for you this week, and that your will to take action to get things moving in the direction that you want this week, Sagittarius. But that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and we will move on to our Capricorns. Capricorn. What does Capricorn need to know this week? What's going on for our Capricorns? What does Capricorn need to know this week? Ooh, Capricorn. Some of you may be on the Sagittarius cusp. If so, you may want to check out the Sagittarius reading as well. We do have one of the same cards that Sagittarius had. Okay, but starting off, we have power. Now, if that's not Capricorn energy, I don't know what is in this deck. Power. And you're coming from a lot of it this week. And a lot of your power is coming from your will. Okay, this is such a interesting, fun kind of energy, because it's kind of like you will it and they will come. Where there's a will, there's a way, and you've got the power to will anything into existence for yourself this week, Capricorn. If I will it hard enough, it will come. It's the power of your will. That it's kind of a bit of a stubborn energy that I'm not going to put up with second best. I wish, like I'm putting all my will into this goal being realized, and it's going to happen. There's no second best. No such thing. My will is this. That is what I'm going to get. I know my power and I know my strength. That is what I'm going to get. Strong energy from you there, Capricorn. I will clarify this for you. Capricorn. What does Capricorn need to know this week? So embrace that stubborn little energy this week, Capricorn, because, you're the goat with the fish's tail. Goats are stubborn as heck. And even with a fish's tail, they can climb the mountain. Any mountain that's put in front of them, they can still climb that, even if they've got fish's legs on the back end. They're stubborn little creatures, and even those emotions that are trying to make them slide back down the mountainside, the little goat legs carry them up to the top anyway. We've all seen, on TV or whatever, the goats climbing cliff faces. Oh, and the hidden energy has actually reversed itself to what we saw for Sagittarius. Was it Sagittarius or Scorpio? We have the stars, we have the garden, we have the heart. Your goals, your wishes are being met with love, in love, with love, unconditional love, romance. Your goals are being met with or in love, Capricorn. Interesting. We have the scythe coming through first. Sudden changes coming through. Suddenly breaking free from something that has held us back and stopped our true power from, being put into our goals here, our will. But the scythe, as you can see in this particular card, it's all about harvest. We need to cut away the wheat so that then we can harvest that wheat and take it to the bread mill and turn it into flour and then bread. Just because one thing is ending in your life or being cut away in your life doesn't mean that it's not actually then It's turning into something else completely. It's being taken to the flour mill and then turned into bread. So even the things that are getting cut out of your life at the minute, or you're breaking free from. I do feel for a lot of you, you're breaking free from some sort of energy that has been holding you back, and all that energy that's been holding you back, it's now being enforced into your power and your will to have change for yourself is now starting to be exerted upon the fabric of the universe itself, Capricorn. This is strong energy coming from you. Like, you guys are always very strong spiritual energy anyway, but this is like, you've got so much power at the moment, Capricorn, whether you believe it or not. The next card we have is the cross. So this is changing your own destiny in a lot of ways. For some of you, this is changing your own destiny, changing that what has been destined, changing, breaking free from burdens and moving towards faith and destiny, moving towards that spiritual will that you have upon the universe, that fate, that fated, you're changing your own fate. This is super. It's very positive. It is very, very positive. Okay, because where does that lead us? To the fish. Capricorn, this is what we like to see for Capricorn. Abundance, wealth, money. Okay, so whatever you're breaking free from, you're changing your own fate towards more wealth, more abundance, more money. Can't go wrong with that. All right, can't go wrong with that. That's simply what I'm seeing. Don't be afraid of your own power this week, Capricorn. Enforce your will. Be that stubborn little Capricorn half goat and keep climbing, keep climbing, keep climbing, even, regardless of what is trying to, whatever those fishy tails are trying to drag you back down. Don't allow anything to drag you down at the moment, Capricorn. Enforce your will upon the universe itself, and it will be done. Okay, especially when it comes to things around money. Strong money energy for you this week, Capricorn. All right. So that's what we've got for you. Pretty straightforward. I love it. Normally, Capricorn, you guys normally throw me around a few loops sometimes, but I really enjoy that energy, that quick message for us this week. It's a good one. Who's nothing wrong with abundance and wealth and money, right? It does feel very strongly like money, but for, abundance is a lot of different things. Feeling wealthy in one's life can mean different things to different people. So either way, though, it's a wealth, it's an abundance of a lot of what you want. So yay. Okay, but feel free to check other placements as well. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll move on to Aquarius. Aquarius, what's going on for Aquarius this week? Aquarius, what does Aquarius need to know right now, please? Oh, I swear it was Aquarius I was having, I dreamt about last night. It's a big week for you guys, to be honest. Some self-realization, I think, is going to be the theme of the week for you. We do have realization as the first card. And have a look at that image, Aquarius. We see the giant keyhole in the night sky. All right. And through that keyhole, we see the sun shining again. All right. This is realization of the void. Okay. We have the void here as well. We see the figure here down in the darkness. But realization that there is a keyhole open to you. Realization that there is more than just this void around you. Realization that it is up to you to find the key to open the void from yourself. Realization that the void is within you. It's not external to you. That the void that you feel stuck in, trapped in, held down in. A lot of the only thing that's stopping you from escaping that is you yourself. This is a big week of self-realizations, okay, of understanding where you're holding yourself back and how you can actually change your opportunities, change your options, open yourself up to a whole new world that is not just this void, okay? I feel like a lot of you, because on the bottom of the deck too, I have fear, okay? There's fear there. It's all coming, and then on the bottom of the Lenormand, before I start shuffling, there's your key. There's your key. It's within you. The key is within you. Aquarius, clarify this message for Aquarius. Aquarius, what does Aquarius need to know right now, please? So for some of you, this is like your understanding, you know, the void is something within your life that you're feeling sucking you down, holding you back, keeping you entrapped in something. And you really are realizing this week that the only way out of that is through you yourself and you needing to exert your free will. The first card we have here is the card of free will, the crossroads, the path. Changing your path, changing the path that you're walking. Realization that it's up to you and you're, you know, making conscious choices here to move away from the void. We have the rider here. The rider is, you know, getting up on that horse and sailing off into the sunset. It's like the chariot in tarot, okay? It's a lot of travel. It's a lot of journey starting. It's a lot of movement needing to happen here. And it's you're consciously choosing which path you're going to take here. And you're getting up on that horse and you're going down that new path, you know, allowing yourself to understand that it's up to you to make this choice, that do I stay on the path I'm currently on, which is surrounded by that void, or do I change my path? Do I get up on it? You know, do I get up on this horse and travel through into new energy for myself? Do I travel through that keyhole into this other realm? We have the feminine there as well. It's kind of telling us here that the answer to going through this keyhole, to opening up to this new pathway, is through nurturing your emotional self. The feminine is emotion. It is nurturing. It is finding growth through looking after that which is vulnerable, which is what, you know, that's where that fear lies, Aquarius. You've feared your own emotions when it comes to this void energy. You've been fearful of the emotions because, yeah, a lot of emotions are really hard to deal with. And I'm never going to deny that. You know, there's a lot of valid emotions out there that aren't hard to deal with. But opening yourself up to those and starting the journey of working through those emotions enables you to then heal and grow through those emotions and open up to this other world of sunshine and peacefulness and harmony and happiness. It's up to you to consciously choose. Do I allow myself to just succumb to the void, or do I choose to understand that I need to get myself out of this? Do I have this realization that I need to make some changes here in order to get out of this void that I found myself in? Okay, so a bit of a darker, deeper message there for you, Aquarius, but you are more than welcome, you know, and the house as well. Okay, so finding emotional stability within oneself is very important for you this week, if you want to escape the void of your own thoughts. Okay, Aquarius, so I'm sorry if that's a little bit dark, and whatnot, but you are more than welcome to check out your other placements as well. All right. Please subscribe to the channel, and we will move on over to our Pisces. Okay, Pisces, how are we today? What's going on for Pisces this week? What does Pisces need to know right now, please? What does Pisces need to know right now? Ooh. Can I say this word? I can say sovereign. I can say sovereignty. Obviously, I need to practice that word, Pisces. Sovereignty. See, I'm a reader, okay? I learnt to speak through reading. There's certain words that my pronunciation of certain words sometimes messes up because I say them how I read them, or how you would read certain words. And my background in English is, reading more so than pronunciation. Sovereign entity. Sovereign entity. Sovereign entity. Independence. Okay, independence. Being a whole world unto yourself. Being the queen of your own world, or king of your own world. Being independent and true to oneself. Being your own entity. Beauty, and seeing the beauty in that. Okay, and enjoying the beauty in that. Enjoying the beauty of this independence of self, this uniqueness of you. We will clarify that. I feel like this is just a message of this week is self-appreciation week for you, Pisces, to be honest. And doing things your way, not going with the sheep, not following any sheeple this week, where we're doing things our way. Give me that Limp Bizkit song, My Way or the Highway. Pisces, what's going on for Pisces? What does Pisces need to know this week? You're being the leader, not the follower this week, Pisces. Clarify that first card for Pisces. Why are we seeing that first card for Pisces, please? Okay. So it's learning something about being independent and sovereign, unique. Because we have the snake coming through first, all right? And I have clarified that by the mice. So in the past, you have been deceived. You have been deceived into thinking that being your own entity is a bad thing. You have been tricked or deceived into thinking that if I am true to myself, that is a bad thing, that it's not beautiful for me to do that I should go along with the sheeple and be like every other person, that I should hide my uniqueness, that I should hide the things that make me independent. I should go along with the crowd and do what everyone else wants to do instead of enforcing my own will and being the leader. You've been deceived into thinking that you are not a leader. Been deceived into thinking that you are just like everybody else. Or you should be just like everybody else. That you should be normal. that you should fit in. It's a deception. It's a deception. And this week, there's something happening this week. We have the book coming through here. So it just feels like there's something happening this week that really makes you learn the difference, and makes you learn that you've been deceived, makes you learn that, do you know what? No, I am the leader of this. I am myself. I am true to myself. I am unique, and that is okay. There is a beauty in that. Just that in itself is beautiful. We have the fox. I can be independent. It's the way that I take care of myself. And you know what? I do what I need to do. I get it done one way or another. Doesn't matter. This books is kind of like educating yourself more about what your version of independence means, and what you being sovereign means for you, and learning more about not playing not playing by everybody else's rules. You're taking leadership and learning how to really take leadership this week, and not be, you're being intelligent and clever, and there's a lot of intelligence for you this week, but it's all about seeing the ways in which you're being deceived in the past, about yourself not being the leader, about yourself not, it's like you've been told in the past that you don't fit in, Pisces. You need to fit in. And it's unattractive if you are too different. Your uniqueness is not pretty. That is total BS for you, Pisces. Total. That's a deception. That's a betrayal of your truth. And the past has tried to do this to you. But you're learning. You're learning better. You're learning, you're learning about the unknown factors that creates for you to be that way, and to, you're learning the beauty of that within your own life, the beauty of being able to stand up for yourself and be yourself, and to take control, and that I'm smart enough to do it all by myself. I don't need all these sheeple to show me the way. I can find the way on my own terms. I'm the queen of this. I don't need you. I don't need everyone else. I can survive all on my own. I know that I can find the path all on my own. I don't need to play everybody else's games anymore. So you're really kind of standing up for yourself in some kind of a way this week, and really, like, even if it's just within your own self, you're kind of really realizing. It's like a realization, learning more about what it means to be independent, and what it means to be sovereign, and what it means to embrace the beauty of that independence and sovereignty. Oh, did I say it right that time? My goodness. Rather than be deceived by the way that everybody else wants you to act. So it's a pretty powerful kind of message there, but there's a lot of beauty for you to be noticing about yourself this week, Pisces, and about the way that you take control of your life and yourself, and, the people around you, and doing things in your own, marching to the beat of your own drum. Super important, super beautiful for you this week, okay? So stop and admire yourself this week, and admire the fact that you can do this. That, because I'm feeling too that if you're looking around and you're like, this is why people have been deceiving me into thinking that I should just go along with the crowd and do what everyone else is doing, because that's the best that they can do. You're looking around and you're going, that's the best that they can do, is to just go along with the flow of everything. But do you know what? I'm looking at myself, and do you know what? I don't need to be like that. I've got the strength and the fortitude within myself to be my own entity, to stand up as myself and stand up for myself, and lead the crowd rather than be the one that follows. So no sheeple for you this week, because you're going to chase them down and catch them with this fox energy. I kind of like that for you there, but it's about the beauty of it, the beauty of seeing about where you're uniquely placed by being you, and the truth of yourself, that you don't need to be anyone else, that being yourself is beautiful. Okay, Pisces. But you're more than welcome to check out your other placements, of course. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all again soon.